Hi Red friends, we're back in the fitting salon and we're not taking a shoe out of a box because this shoe doesn't have a box yet because it's the sample of a new style that we're launching this week, Olympia. Actually, you can pre-order it now. We've had a few questions about how much does Olympia shoe weigh, because it does look fairly substantial. I'm not going to deny it. I thought I would start by explaining why we created this outsole and also my obsession with abrasion. So what is abrasion, I hear you ask, when it comes to footwear? Abrasion is the wearing down of your outsole, which happens over time. When you wear it, shoes take the full weight of your body on the pavement, your body weight on the pavement grazing against your outsole. That can cause the outsoles to wear down. And it's something that I've been very fixated on ever since we've been running the brand. And you'll know if you've been following us along for a while, that's why we started making our own outsoles, so that we could have control over this thing called abrasion. You might recall, if you've ever bought Olympia loafers, in my pursuit of doing everything I can to address abrasion issues, we've always supplied this backup heel cap, which we always recommend to customers at about the 6-month mark. You need to generally replace the heel, because you probably know abrasion really well if you've had a shoe like this, the outsoles wear down over time. So our brand is all about creating shoes for the commute. And so in thinking about that, we wanted to produce a new loafer unit that was not only really good for abrasion, but also had a lot of spring. So this shoe, and it looks sharp, right? So it's a loafer, same silhouette or similar silhouette to what we've made before, but with an outsole that probably speaks a bit better to our ideas around being a commute shoe and being worn regularly. So in our pursuit of making these beautiful shoes, we have opened our own outsole mold. It's a new outsole mold. We call it Olympia. It's a 90s inspired lug unit. But what is groundbreaking is what is going on in the parts of the shoe that you can't see, which we call the coring. Now the coring is inside, underneath the upper. And of course, like all our own outsole molds, we have it tested by a testing body called Intertech. But actually, this is really important. We get the outsoles abrasion tested to make sure that they meet international standards. Now, what we found with this unit, with this kind of composition, so this is rubber, plant rubber, and a very small amount of plastisol, that gives it the bounce, the spring. So they take the original weight of the outsole before it goes through the abrasion test, and then they put it through the test, which is basically replicating the usual wear conditions of your outsole going on the ground. And then they measure it after a certain amount of wear, and at the end they weigh it again and compare the weight of the unit versus what the standard is. Now the standard acceptable level on an outsole like this is 300 millimeters square. Our outsole measured at 97 millimeters squared, lost only a third of what the acceptable abrasion limits is, which means if you can wear through this outsole, I will literally give you your money back. But I just can't imagine that anyone's ever going to wear through this outsole. So if you are a heavy walker, then this shoe is speaking your name and you can wear it to work and everything. Let's think about that in the context of, yes, but how much does it weigh if it can do all of that? It looks heavy. Is it really heavy if it's going to do all that abrasion? Like, is it a steel cap boot? The answer is no, it is not. It's actually really light. It weighs the same as a trainer. So we weighed it on our Australia Post scales at work, and they weigh 478 grams per shoe, which means that you're only gaining like less than a kilo when you wear them. It's less than eating a Tim Tam or 6. So the point is they're not very heavy, and it's all because the internal coring has been designed in such a way as to take the weight out of it. So it's still dense, but internally it's not. Oh, that was another question we got asked, which was, is it the same sizing and fit as the penny loafer? And the answer to that is, I would say yes. And the reason for that is that we use the same on the black. We've used the same, it's the exact same box leather. So as far as the fit and the feel goes, it is very much like a Liberation loafer. But the only difference is, I would say, I prefer wearing these because they've got more spring and more bounce. And I like shoes with bounce and spring because then I don't get a sore back and I don't get sore knees. Now you know that I'm completely obsessed with abrasion, and that's what led us to even opening our own outsoles in the first place. And we are getting to a point where we want to be able to have every single shoe in our collection made with our own outsole unit. We're getting very close to that. But that's one of the reasons why this shoe this season updates this shoe. Whew, let's see it on the foot. All right, so now I'm going to show you on the foot. I'm going to show you how easy they are to get on. So on the ground, and remember we always put our slip-ons, even though we could do them standing up, we don't, because it's much better for the heel cups to do them when you're sitting down. You won't put as much pressure on the heel cups. So this is obviously our aquatic colour, which I'm particularly proud of and partial to. Looks really epic with all black. That's how I'll be wearing it, and a trench probably. But we like to call this aquatic in the collection like dopamine inducing colour. So it was moments of optimism. I know that 90s lug soles like this is kind of, it's got Timberland vibes, right? Like that kind of a unit. It makes it really modern when you can do it in a colour, and it obviously makes it more radical. So, but the design of the outsole itself, you know, we could have got these outsole molds from the market, and you'll see lots of these styles of soles in the market this winter, but none of them are going to be as good quality as ours at this level, I can promise you that. And also can see like it's got the Radical Yes logo on it, which is another reason that we're obsessed with opening outsoles, because we want them to have our own stamp. That's Olympia Aquatic. It's bringing a lot of joy. It's also available in black, and there's a secret third colour coming, but I'm not going to tell you what it is until about May. Okay, that's it. Stay radical.